Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this. So, just a quick note because it's a real moment that, whenever it's like the spring or the fall and I'm teaching classes, I often get people, especially folks that live in my area that have big yards that are doing seasonal yard work, talk about fatigued low back or pain there. So I'm just going to work in the beginning of this class what I was shown by physical therapist friends to counteract the low back stuff that happens when we do like mulching, digging, raking, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I could be right about this, but don't quote me. I think this is called the Mckenzie Method. And it is designed to give the spine the opposite of what you're doing at that moment. What you're doing in that moment is flexion, rounding of the spine, and you're also adding weight to it. It becomes like a pretty heavy load to bear and a lot to ask of the muscles and the fascia and the spinal cord itself. So for most of us with fairly healthy connections there, it's okay. We might still feel fatigued. But for some of us where we have some insecurities, it can be like almost a deal breaker. So here is your quick thing that you can do to counteract those feelings, okay? We're gonna come to the mat. Today is a Mixeroo, by the way. We have a chair, we have some weights, I have some water. I don't have any sneakers today. It's just because I got them all muddy and I didn't want to wear them in the house. So, but normally I kind of like to wear my sneakers. And we're also going to use the person that tells us what to do. But first, here we are. We're going to come down onto our bellies. Okay, so let's just pretend that you have just been outside mulching, raking, shoveling, whatever it is. You've just been doing a bunch of flexion, and maybe your back is tired, or maybe it's not. What I was told is to bring my arms underneath me, underneath me. And then often in Pilates, we add abdominal connection to this. I was told to release the abdominals, press down with the palms, and gently press up and come into this extension. Honestly, the woman told me to come all the way up until my arms are straight, which feels really intense to me, and it doesn't feel right, so I'm personally not going to do that. If it feels good for you to come all the way up into straight arms, do that. So I was told, as a break from doing all that flexion, to do it 10 times. Okay, and then come all the way down. Just relax your head for a second. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Come on up to stand. And really the woman said, if you don't immediately feel better, then that may not be good for you. But that's like a quick, very unofficial, I am not a doctor, way for me to show you a quick little fix to the back issues that we have, to all that, those yard flexion stuff, okay? So you can try that, and guess what? You can do it a bunch of times. Like if you're doing work for 45 minutes to an hour, do it then, and then you can do it throughout the day, like a bunch of times is what I was told. And I think it's called the Mckenzie Method, but I'm going to follow up on that and put a note underneath this class to make sure that I'm right or wrong, okay? All right, we have a chair, and I've really been enjoying doing some lengthening of the spine and the parts with the chair. So we're just going to start that way. As always, please be careful if your chair is not sturdy. If you have a folding chair, you don't need a broken nose today. So just be careful there. I'm going to bring my hands right to the edge of the chair, kind of close to the front edge. And then I'm going to step my feet back and a little bit wider than my mat. And send the hips back and relax the head down. And then I'm going to shift my weight forward, so my weight is kind of over my own shoulders and hands, over my own hands, and it almost feels like the beginning of a plank. And then I'm going to send my hips back again. And I'm going to do this a few times while I breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And I also like to do classes where I include just a regular old desk chair or a chair that you happen to use on the regular, because I'd love to help you associate everyday items in your home with being something that you can stretch with whenever you want. You can do this whenever you want. I'm going to do one more here. And then come on back. Head relax, jaw relax. Bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg, and shift your hips in that direction. So I'm bending my left knee, straightening my right leg, and shifting my hips to the right. And then I'm going to switch, bend the right knee, straighten the left leg, shift the hips to the left. And again, bend, shift, and bend, and shift. And then I'm going to bring my legs back together, step the left leg forward so my shin or almost my knee is right against the chair. And I'm going to make sure my feet are about hip distance wide. And then I'm going to, depending on my comfortability level here with my balance, keep my fingertips here or come on up to stand. This is a psoas stretch and a hip flexor stretch here. Two things will deepen this. Your left knee should be over your foot-ish. Your right hip should be pressing forward. So take your hands, push your right hip forward and pull your left hip back a little bit. And then the last thing is tail down, belly in. It's a little teeny bit of a tuck. The minute you do that, you should feel a pretty deep stretch right here. Turn your pelvis so it's not arched the way we just were on the mat, but it's probably more upright, like up and down or just facing straight ahead, however you want to think about it. Tail drop, belly in really increases this stretch. And now if you want to bring it up another notch, you bring your arms up and you take a breath. And then I'm going to bring my hands to the chair, pull my left hip back, and I'm going to straighten out my front leg and let my head come down towards the chair. Deep breath. I'm going to do both of these one more time. Knee bent, lift the chest, right hip forward, tail down, belly lift, arms up. Breathe, relax your shoulders a bit, and then come on back down. Before we switch to the other side, bring your left leg back. Please make sure that your chair is sturdy. We're just going to do like a modified plank here. So hands under the shoulders, legs are straight. Lift your hips a teeny bit so you can get a belly connection and hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then lean back. Right leg forward, knee or shin up to the chair. Bring yourself upright. See if you can bring your back, ooh, my calves are tight, back heel down. Feet are hip distant. The more narrow your feet are, the more difficult your balance, it will be to balance. Tail down, belly in, left hip forward. Tail down, belly in, and come on up. And then come on down. Pull the right hip back, straighten the right leg. So it's like both of my hips are facing forward instead of having the right one forward and the left one back. And then lean forward. Relax the head. Come on back up again. Bend the front knee. Left hip forward. Whoop. Chair is helpful. This side is more challenging for me. Tailbone down, belly button in, and arms up. Perhaps the arms can always do something else. One more deep breath. And then come on down, straighten that front leg, pull the right hip back a bit, relax your head and shoulders. 2 exhales. And now I'm going to, one more time, step the right foot back. We're going to do another plank here, okay? Heels are lifted, chest is lifted. Lift your tush maybe just a little bit, find a belly connection, and breathe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send the hips back, step both feet forward, soften your knees, bring your head to the chair and your arms towards your feet. Take a breath. And then soften the knees, push down through the feet, and slowly roll up. And slowly roll up. Great. Okay. I'm really thankful to use the chair. I often, when I've been doing a bunch of work on the computer, I'll just turn around and do some quick stretches on the chair, which is kind of a nice break from doing work to whatever else it is that I'm about to do. Okay, stop talking, Stacy. Let's do some movement. Okay, we're gonna go through some fun things. They are squats, jogging, push-ups, core work, plank work, balance work. What should we start with? What? Push-ups? Okay. Okay. Let me make sure that, let's see if this works. I need the tabata. Let's see. Here she is. Donna. Okay, we're gonna start with push-ups, and we're gonna come to the floor. We're gonna do some modified push-ups and some like kind of weird one-army stuff. One arm, not army. And then tricep, where we'll kind of flip around and go the other way, okay? So let's make sure that Donna's on the same page. I think she is. Let's see.
Resuming your tabata workout.
She's there. Okay, so knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders, wide elbow push-ups in 5 seconds.
Exercise.
Wide elbow push-ups. 10. Oh, but I don't have to count. Straight spine. Oh God. That one shocks me the first time I hear it. Rest. Take a breath. Okay, so next we're going to do one leg extended back. Same exercise, one leg extended back. Ready?
Exercise.
Rest. Little chest stretch here. We've got to do the other leg. That's how that works.
Exercise.
Opposite leg.
Rest.
Thumbs back. Lift the chest. Take a breath. We're going to do like one arm work I'm gonna come like this.
Exercise.
Keep your right arm where it is, bring your left arm out to the side. Bend your right elbow back, and then push down. This is a really small movement for me. Elbow is bending back like it wants to touch the knee. Switch arms. Bend. Bend. Try to keep that opposite elbow lifted.
Rest.
Woo, we're gonna do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Those are 5 variations. Take a breath. Ready?
Exercise.
Small tricep push-up with one arm. Switch.
Rest.
So we did regular. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Come on up to stand. Squats. Come on up. Take a breath.
Exercise.
And just to throw this out there, I wanted to wait for the gong. If you have low back, if you're feeling fragile, if it doesn't feel good, give yourself a little help. Like,
Rest.
for me, spinal extension, which is keeping my back straight while I'm squatting, it adds kind of a lot of stress. We're going to do another set of squats here. I'm just going to rest my fingers on the chair. You can try this too.
Exercise.
And guess what? It feels a lot better for me. There's so many little tricks, and what's right for me may not be right for you, but it is worth just trying things out. What this does is it takes away the pressure of having to support your entire upper body as you move through this. I'm not death gripping the chair here.
Rest.
Okay, come on up. I don't think I need the chair for this next part. Sumo. Sumo. And stand tall.
Exercise.
Exercise. I'm going to ask Donna to say a different word. Exercise is fine, by the way. I don't have a problem with exercise. But what if she was like, go get it?
Rest.
Go get it. Go get it. What if she always said that? Just talking to myself. We're going to do sumos again.
Exercise.
All right. Hold here. One heel, other heel. One heel, other heel. One heel. And breathe.
Rest.
And come on up. So we did 2 sets of squats, 2 sumos. We're coming back to a sumo one more time.
Exercise.
Sumo pulse.
Rest.
And come all the way back in. Okay, we're going to come into a little bit of a jog here. For the jog, I'm just going to throw my mat off to the side because it's kind of soft and I don't want to be on that right now. Okay, so just a regular jog.
Exercise.
Exercise. So I don't have any sneakers on right now. I'm kind of paying a little bit more attention to just rolling through the foot. Roll from the heel to the toes.
Rest.
And come on down. Regular jog, a bit faster. A bit faster. I'll face this way when I go faster.
Exercise.
This is like a jog sprint. A jint. This is a jint.
Rest.
Okay. Next we have knee ups. Okay, arms out. Like that.
Exercise.
Knee ups.
Rest.
Knee ups. Tushy kicks. Tushy kicks.
Exercise. Rest.
Feet jog. Maybe hands to hips. Soften your knees.
Exercise.
Roll through the feet. Actually, see if you can not bounce. Don't bounce.
Rest.
Okay, we did this side of the page, you guys. What's going to happen over here? Core. Okay, come onto your back. We can do this. Bicycle. Bicycle.
Exercise. Rest.
Okay, next. Dead bug. Arms up. Legs up.
Exercise.
One arm opposite leg, and then return. One arm opposite leg, tap and return. Tap. Breathe.
Rest.
Next one is hinge. Hinge. And then kind of like another thing. Hinge, legs up, feet together, knees apart.
Exercise.
Lower lift.
Rest.
Woo! Legs down. Feet together, hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows up.
Exercise.
Curl up and bring one knee up, replace the foot and switch. Switch. Long neck.
Rest.
Woo. Okay, last but not least, crisscross. Same arm position. Legs will come up into tabletop. Elbows up a bit. Take a breath.
Exercise.
And reach.
Rest.
Woo. Okay, come on up to sit and come onto your hands and knees. Super fun plank stuff. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips.
Exercise.
Knees up. Tap down. Tap down. Tap down.
Rest.
Okay. We're gonna do a regular plank unless something else is good for you. Okay? You choose whatever's right, alright?
Exercise.
Again, I like hips in line with the shoulders, not below. Because it increases your chances of using your belly.
Rest.
This one's your favorite. Forearm plank. You can interlace your fingers or put your palms flat.
Exercise.
We're gonna do like a little combo. Plank, lift, plank, lift, plank, booty lift.
Rest.
Whew. Okay, side. This is not gonna feel good on my knee. I'm just gonna do this.
Exercise.
Trying to make sure your hand is under your shoulder. I like to keep my bottom knee down these days. And breathe here.
Rest.
Okay, other side.
Exercise.
Go get it. So many other things she could say. You're awesome. She could say that. How about this time? It's gonna happen now. There's so many things she can say, right?
Rest.
I mean, again, the word exercise is fine. We're coming up to stand. Come up to stand. Balance work. Feet wide, toes wide.
Exercise.
Arms come out wide. Heels up. Slowly heels down. Heels up. Slowly heels down. Heels up and down. Pull your head back. Stand tall.
Rest.
Now turn your toes forward, a little bit wider than your own hips. Shift into your right leg.
Exercise.
Left leg out, arm, leg, arm, leg, arm, leg, arm, leg. Breathe.
Rest.
Okay, I don't mind that she says rest. She could say other things there too, though. That would be interesting. Shift into your other leg. Bring the opposite leg out.
Exercise. Rest.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Soften your knees. Arms are going to stick to your sides. Neck is long. Step your right leg back.
Exercise.
Long spine. This is another one. You can always rest your hands on your chair.
Rest.
Side 2. Soften your knees. Opposite leg back. Arms are glued to your sides. Take a breath. Long spine.
Exercise.
Go get it. I should make my own app, my own Tabata app.
Rest.
Okay, who's excited to do this whole thing again? I'm pausing this.
Workout paused.
Thank you, Donna. And I'm gonna need a drink of water. Can I get a drink of water? Okay. It's the moment we've been waiting for. I flipped over my paper. We did push-ups, we did squats, we did jogging. I didn't do everything like I have it written here, so I'm not really even sure if I'm going to remember what I did last time, but you know what? We don't care. We're flexible. All of us except for Donna. She just does the same thing all the time. Okay. Ready? You ready, Donna?
Resuming your tabata workout.
Okay. First, we have modified wide elbow push-ups.
Exercise.
Exercise. See if you can keep your spine nice and straight. Belly button is in.
Rest.
Okay. We're going to do that again, but with one leg back. Okay?
Exercise. Rest.
That was exciting. We're gonna do that again, but with the other leg.
Exercise.
Exercise. Go get it. Here we go. It's time.
Rest.
Okay, now we have these little mini, like, one arm, small little tricep push-up things. Opposite arm out to the side. Show you from the side opposite.
Exercise.
Really small for me, I can't go down very far. But I'm really trying to keep my elbow in towards the rib. Switch. Lift your chest away from the ground. Keep that opposite elbow lifted.
Rest.
Okay, we have another set of those push-ups. Okay, ready? Let's go back.
Exercise.
Shoulder away from your ear. Switch.
Rest.
Ooh, my shoulder is really fatigued. Okay, we had regular push-ups, one leg back, other leg back, half and half. We're done. Let's come up to stand squats. Use your chair or don't, it's up to you.
Exercise.
You can even add weights if you would like. Push your hips forward at the top.
Rest.
I think this is going well. Let's do another set of squats. That's what we did on the other side. We just did 2 of these. You can add weights if you want.
Exercise. Rest.
Okay, next we have some sumos. Sumos.
Exercise. Rest.
Rest. We're going to do another set of sumos with heel lifts next.
Exercise.
Lift your chest into your thumbs and alternate heels. Use your toes. Breathe.
Rest.
We're going back for pulses. Take a breath.
Exercise.
If you want to get fancy with this, you can pulse with lifted heels. That would be crazy.
Rest.
Whew. All right. Next, we're going to go for a bit of a jog. Get rid of this thing for a little bit. Regular jog. Slow jog.
Exercise.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Go get it. Roll through the foot, heel to toes.
Rest.
Next, we're going to go for a jint, a jog sprint.
Exercise. Rest.
Next, that was a jint. Knee ups. Palms out.
Exercise. Rest.
Okay. Tushy kickers.
Exercise. Rest.
Feet jog. Feet jog. We get to flip the paper after this.
Exercise.
Try not to bounce.
Rest.
Rest. All right, friends. Oh my gosh, core work. Come onto your back. I'm just gonna get my mat again because I think it's probably more comfortable. Bicycles. Oh God. Bicycles.
Exercise.
Okay. I got it, Donna. You can always do something else with your arms here. Maybe holding weights. You could incorporate weights with this little series if you want.
Rest.
Next, we had dead bug.
Exercise.
Which I think is not an appropriate name because it really should be called dying bug. Dying bug.
Rest.
Okay. Next, we have hinge. Arms by your sides, legs up.
Exercise.
Maybe you can point the feet on the way down and flex to come up.
Rest.
Next, we're going to bring the hands behind the head. Elbows up a bit.
Exercise.
One leg at a time, come up.
Rest.
Okay. Next, we have crisscross. So we did bicycle, dying bug, hinge, that one, and get crisscross.
Exercise.
Go get it. Please modify when you need to. Okay? You know the best. You know you best. You know you best. That's another thing I always say on my Tabata app. Somewhere.
Rest.
All right, we have to do some plank stuff. Okay, we get to do that now. Bend knees first. Hands under the shoulders. Take a breath.
Exercise.
You can almost do one knee here too. Just to throw out another modification. Just use your belly when you come up.
Rest.
Okay, next we have a real plank. You can always use your chair again if that was your favorite way to do it.
Exercise.
Pick your head up so you're looking slightly in front of your mat or your fingertips. Almost there.
Rest.
Whew. It's your favorite. It's the forearm situation.
Exercise.
So we come between a little bit of a pike and a plank. Pike, plank.
Rest.
Whew. One side, other side. We're almost there, you guys. One side, other side. Knee down for me.
Exercise.
It's time. Plug the bottom shoulder in, plug the top shoulder in, pull your head back, belly in. Get your tush involved. Use your tushy muscles. Breathe.
Rest.
Okay. Other side.
Exercise.
All right, home stretch. Home freaking stretch. Come up to stand. Balance work.
Exercise.
This is the leg arm thing. It's like half of you is doing a jumping jack in the air, kind of.
Rest.
Whew. I don't know about you, but I really need a shower. I'm so excited about that. Shift. Leg out. Head back.
Exercise. Rest.
I just remembered the thing I forgot. This one.
Exercise.
Took her a long Took her a long time to get through those 15 seconds. Was it just me? Did that feel like a long time? I guess it was probably just 15 seconds. 15 regular seconds. Slowly lower the heels.
Rest.
Okay, last two. Arms glued. Soften your knees. Look straight ahead.
Exercise.
One leg back. Hinge. Hinge from your standing leg. Do what you need to do with your arms here. Okay, some people prefer out to the sides or even out in front of you.
Rest.
If you want to do that same thing with the arms straight out in front, that's going to give you a lot more energy down the back to work the back extensors. That's a nice opportunity there if you'd like.
Exercise. Rest.
Okay, guess what? Just wait. Just give her 10 seconds.
Done. Great workout. You spent 41 minutes 52 seconds exercising.
Says you're awesome. Backwards. Right? It's backwards. Anyway. Woohoo! We are. Let's grab the chair and do a little bit of a chair stretch, please. You're awesome. Like she has to write it, she can't even say it. She's so serious. I'm still thankful for Donna. I don't know about you. All right, so sit in your chair. I'm sitting kind of close to the end here, to the edge, the front edge. I'm going to widen my feet so my knees are wider than my shoulders. I'm going to bring my right forearm to my right thigh. I'm just going to stretch out through the left side of the body. Reach the fingertips away, and then I'm going to come through the center. Hold here. Relax the head. Pick it back up again. Shift my weight over into my left forearm. And then stretch the right arm over. Really nice side body stretch. Take a breath. And then come back to the center. Hold here, lower the head. Pick it back up. And then walk the feet in. So let's say feet, why don't we say feet hip distant, knees the same. I'm gonna cross the right over the left. This is probably the stretch that is most important for me personally. Do some noticing as to what you think is yours. I'm just gonna flex my right foot a little bit, lift my spine, and lean forward towards my thighs. And then I'm going to breathe into my belly. I'm going to breathe into my belly, not my shoulders. I'm going to fully relax down. And then come on back up again, and then I'm going to put my right foot down and pick up my left foot. Flex, tall, lean forward and breathe. I'm going to put that left foot back down. What else am I going to do here? If you have a back to your chair that you can reach back and grab onto, this is also a nice stretch you can do if you've been sitting, doing a lot of computer work for a while. Walk your hands to the back edges of the chair, and then hold on. Try lower down or higher up, and see where your best chest opening stretch lives. You can, a lot of people do this differently. You can just sit up tall and find a lift and an arch through the upper back. I think this is really valuable after we've been in this shape, you know, doing all that. So hands back, chest lift, this is nice. Lower down is gonna feel a little different than higher up. Try both. Why don't you come to like the center and then move your head a bit. Try and relax your jaw, ear to shoulder, and ear to shoulder. One more each way. And ear to shoulder. And come back to the center. Swing the arms around, stand up nice and tall. One more stretch for the road. I'm going to do a similar one to what we did in the start of class. Hands to the chair, legs back, and reach it back, head down. It's kind of nice because your head can perhaps fall below the line of the chair, which means the hands are higher. And breathe. Soft knees, maybe. One more deep breath here. And then lift the head and start to walk your feet forward. Soften those knees again. Transfer the weight into your feet. And roll up. And roll up. One deep breath. Go get it. We did it. You're awesome. Have a great day. May the force be with you.